your hostess for the evening. Tonight we are going to take a foray into VUE 2016. So without further ado, let's go to VUE. Now, let me finish this. I'll share my thought. Oh, really? Too long. Okay, well, that's all right. Done. Okay, now we are looking at VUE, and I'm going to open a fresh file. So first I'm going to choose a sky for my setting. And, oh, these are pretty earthen looking. I want something different. So I'm going to look at these different categories. Ooh, look at that. All right, check this out. That is a pretty sky. And this is one of the default skies that comes with VUE 2016, so I'm going to take the liberty of using it. But I'm going to modify this atmosphere. I'm going to go into the atmosphere editor, and I'm going to add moons. I'm going to add stars. Now I want colored stars, and I'm going to add, let's see, where do I go to add moons? Let me see. There's a way to add moons. It's been so long since I did that, I have forgotten how. And I can alter these clouds too. I can make a little more cloud cover. I can bring the height down on these clouds and give a different effect. And I'll do that. I can make more feathers. I can give more detail. And kind of change the look of the sky so that it looks more like what I had in mind. And I'm going to give more density to the shadows. It will increase the time that this render runs, but that's all right. And I want more opacity in these clouds so that it doesn't look like the clouds are around the sun there. I want the size of the sun to be smaller. So I'm going to bring that down some. Excuse me, my nose itches. Okay. I'm going to reduce the size of that corona so that it doesn't look like it's poking through the clouds, although the glare certainly is going to make it look that way. But I'm going to take that down a little bit. It's very bright. Very good, very good. Okay. Now I've altered it just a bit. And I can alter it even more. Instead of making it standard spectral, I could go to volumetric. Oh. Wow. I don't think I want to go volumetric. I'll go back to standard. Now that's a little different, but I don't really want to do that. Yes, let view automatically adjust it. Ooh, I like that effect. So I just play around with the settings until I get a sky that I really like. And the other thing is I'm going to change the color of that sky. I'm going to let's see, not here though. And that's pretty good. The sky color I'm going to alter here. I'm going to make this a lot different. So I'm going to make it kind of a yellow-green kind of sky. Yeah, that'll make it look a lot different. And the decay color, I'm going to make a lot different. Yeah. Now we're a lot different here. So I'll make it like that. And good. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now, I'm going to go back to atmosphere. There is a way to get moons out of this. I just haven't really. I know I've gotten them before. And last time I had to search around for it. So, I'm not going to make you wait too long though. Alrighty. So, I'm really just starting with the atmosphere on this one. And I'm just going to leave it as it is. Why did it change? I didn't change anything. Weird. Let's refresh this. Did I accidentally change something? Because, boy, I wasn't trying to. Well, let's do a quick render of this atmosphere. I want to see what it's going to look like. And I need to name this world. So, let me think. Alright, so this is going to be an Elshar world. So, I'm going to think of an Elshar name. Maybe Kishan. Kishan is a deity they worship. She sometimes gives favors and sometimes does really evil things. But I'm going to name it Kishan. So I'm going to save this file. And I'm going to make a new folder in my planets folder and call it Kishan. Oh, come on. An Elshar world named after the deity Kishan, who sometimes gives favors and sometimes does evil things. Not a very nice deity. And I'm going to get out of that, make a new file. I always make a little notepad file every time I create something so that I've got a little something about what I'm thinking about, what story it might be connected to, things like this. I've already got a pretty good description, so I'm going to copy that and put it in the file. I'll put a date on it. Now, and what was the original name of this atmosphere? I'll take a look in a minute. And I've got enough on there for the next time I open it. Right. And now let me look at atmosphere. And if I go load atmosphere, I get this. And I can see that this is okay. I can read it. I'm trying to read it. See if I can just put this over here. Maybe I can see it. Oh. Well, maybe not. It'd be nice if I could copy that. Don't know if it will let me. Nope. It didn't let me copy it. It's a physical atmosphere. Sixteen glorious sunset. ATM for atmosphere with a green sky. Okay. All right. Okay, now I need to save this file, so I would go into environment. Oh, well, I have to go up to projects, cover projects, environments, and then put it under planets, Keysion. Okay, now I have my text file saved. Always save your files. Always. Because boy, if you go into your software to create your background and you don't have it saved and you go to render, if anything goes wrong, you don't have your file that you worked so hard on. So take a leaf from me, whether you're creating a character, a landscape, whatever it is you're creating, save your work often. So now I'm making notes, and I suggest making a little notepad file, or however you want to save your file. You can put it in on a note card in Scrivener. You can open up your word processor and just make a little note in the margin. However you want to do it, or even an old-fashioned note in your universe journal or something. However you choose to save your work is up to you. But if you have notes, then if something went really right, maybe you can repeat it if you know how you did it. You know what I mean? So most of what you create is going to be junk, because most of what I create is junk. But sometimes you get something really nice. So definitely it's a good idea to keep records of what you're doing. So I've got it, and I've got what I did to it so far, and let's flesh out Keysion. Does it have moons? And if so, how many moons? El Mashai has 5 moons. So with a civilization that has the capability of putting more moons in the sky, if they're not there already, maybe Keysion has 5 moons also. So let's make a note of that. So 5 moons, 1 with rings. That is large. And of course I haven't figured out how to put them in yet, but I will. Even if I have to go into GIMP and just add the moons later, I can do that. But for right now, I'm saving this. Okay. So now that we have a sky, we need a terrain. So I am going to go in the terrain editor, and that's a height field terrain. So that's probably not what I wanted to do. All right. I want to I've got a C. Wow. Okay. And you know what? Since I have gone to the trouble to give this atmosphere some traits, I'm going to save it in my files. I have a special place for my VUE creations. put it under DanniStories, under Atmosphere, Personal, and I'm going to make it Quichen Sunset. Okay. Okay, and I will do this. Whoops. I hope that I am broadcasting here. I am not so sure. I'm going to save that. And now it will render. So let's render it. And okay. So it looks more like that picture than it does here. I need to go into Twitch Studio and see what's wrong. And it looks like it is doing like it's supposed to. So I think we're okay. I hope we're okay. Alright, so I'm going to make this view big. Now, let's work. Alright. Now I think what I want to do is back out, and I want to do a new one with this guy and with the other accoutrements. Let me restart view. Alright. What I'm going to do is when you first start it up, you get a choice of the things that you've already created, and you can say open other file. And are we doing anything? Yes, we are. Okay. I don't really want to open another file. I want to create a new one. Create new with a simple landscape. Here we go. That's the one I want. So I've got something to start with and modify, and it gives you 6 terrains. So you can see why I wanted that. Now I'm going to go to my atmosphere, load atmosphere, and I'm going to go to my personal one, and it's not showing. Well, let me go to this. Thought I already did this. And I'm going to browse for the folder, and I'm going to go to atmospheres. Select the folder. Where's my atmosphere? Yes, merge it. Why is it not showing? That's weird. That is really weird. Did I just lose my atmosphere? Well, I can recreate it, but I really wanted to That doesn't make sense. Well, I'll recreate it. I like it. Yes, update my account. Alright. Now, let's edit this atmosphere. less variation in altitude. Okay. Now, alright. Then I'll go over here and make it green. And make the decay color a darker green. Oops. Alright. That's a little better. And then, oh, now we've got two bodies in there I did not know we had. Okay. Now I'm going to save this atmosphere. And there it is. Okay. Yep. Okay. Now we will render the atmosphere. Ooh, I like that. Okay. I like that better than the other one, but I want the sun to be a little higher in the sky. So I'm going to edit this atmosphere and put the sun a little higher. So the position of the sun. I'm going to raise it just a little bit. I should be able to see that moving, and it's not. So the azimuth is not what I want to fool with, so I'm going to Control Z to undo that. It's going to re-render it. That's what's going on. And why have I not got a picture? Is it taking that long to render? It's finished. I should be seeing it. I did something wrong. Okay. I'll undo it. I'm going to make this preview quality. It is the best. I'll make it high. That's really not going to affect. It's not going to affect what I'm seeing. Okay. Well, I'm going to put that back like it was. And let's see, that's not doing anything. I don't understand what's going on. However, I could go to the other one. So I don't want to do that though. And again, it's not there. I don't get why I've got the atmosphere there. You saw it on the directory, but I'm not seeing it. Just part of the weirdness is going on with my stuff. Anyway, I've got terrains and I've got a sky. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. And I'm going to save it as Keishan. Yes. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead. Sometimes you lose the focus and you don't see your scene, but it's still there. Everything is still there. You can look in the World browser and see it. And you may be noticing, if you watched my DAS live streams, you have layers, and you have things in this first layer. If it was in DAS, you might see a character like Genesis 8. You would see the clothes that you've got on the character, the hair you've got on the character. And this is much the same kind of thing. It is your scene browser. This is a common aspect of pretty much any 3D software. You've got it in DAS, you've got it in Blender, you've got it in GIMP. So there are certain things in common with all the software that I use, and this is one of them. You can see all your objects that you have, and the ground is a 3D object, a plane, and these terrains are an altered plane. So let's pick a terrain and go into the terrain editor and see if we can let's see. I'm not getting the menus I expect, and I don't know why. But it has been a while since I've done this. I'll just go edit. And if I can see, I'm old and decrepit and my allergies are really acting up today. And I am not seeing very well, so sorry about all of the stuff. I'm not seeing the terrain editor. I know that it's in one of these menus. I just gotta find it.
Danny's, here is your reminder. Piggy surprise drop.
Oh. Okay. Alexa. Thank you.
My pleasure. Just doing my job.
Okay. I'm going to go over to Discord real quick and get my piggy drop. I have missed it the past few days, and I was determined that this time I wasn't going to miss it. So let me find Discord on here somewhere. Where is it? There it is. All right. Let's do this real quick. daily chest. I've already claimed it. Come back in 1 minute, really? Okay. Well, I have to wait 8 more seconds for it to work. So, okay. And I got my surprise chest. I've got to wait 30 seconds to get my daily chest. If you are wondering what in the world is she doing, well, in Discord, you can invite the Piggy bot to your server and you can play games on it. So one of the things piggies like to do is battle. My piggy is Susanna, and they have a daily chest and a surprise chest, so I usually pick up both at the same time. So I'm gonna type in the little command, and I got my daily chest, and I've got a 3-day streak. If you want to play Piggy on my server, you are very welcome to come over to Discord and join my server. I have Sprinto, which is a writing bot, and I have a couple other bots that do neat things too. So I'll leave a link to, well, there is a link to that in my description on the video. So if you're so inclined, come on over. Okay, now I'm going to figure out how to edit this terrain. Edit object. Duh. Right click, edit object. I figured I would remember it eventually. Okay, and I have a very flat terrain here, and I can choose what altitude I want it, and I can choose what I want to do with it. So this is, I would like to be able to see it. So terrain 2 is there. Terrain 3, terrain 2, terrain 4, terrain 5, terrain 6. So let me see if I can pull the camera back so I can tell kind of what is going on. There's the camera, that's the side view. And here is the top view, and I can see that that's directly under the camera. And then this one is the front view, and the front view is what I really need. So it's right there. Okay, so I can move the camera around. And Control Z. I keep hoping that this view will refresh, and there it goes. Okay, now I can take a look. Oh, the sun's in my eyes. Oh my goodness. And terrain 2 is right here, right under the camera. So terrain 2 is right on top of the ground. So, and there's the ground, so I could give the ground a texture first. Let's do that. we'll go give the ground a texture first. And Keishan is going to have a rocky soil. So let's load a texture. And what I'm doing in this is going to be similar in a lot of different 3D softwares. So I imagine it is very similar in Carrera. So we'll see what kind of terrain we want for the ground. And we could have a paved road, but I really don't want that. That's not really the effect I'm looking for. Let's look. Ah, okay. So we could have a little green. Grass variations. Let's do that. Okay. So we've got a kind of grassy ground. And now I can change the overall color if I want. So I can make it blue instead of green. Give it a little otherworldly feel. And I'm going to save this. I'm going to make it a different title though. Alright, now I can save it. And it's going to go there. Green variations with a blue tint. Alright, okay. Now, I always make notes when I modify materials so that I know what I did to it to get that effect. This comes in handy later if a file really turns out, the picture turns out like I want it and I like the look of it and I want to do something maybe kind of similar to that. I can go into my notes, or I can just go into the file and read in my notes and know exactly what I did to achieve that effect. So if my notes are good. I didn't used to do this, and there are some effects that I wish I could duplicate and I have no clue how I did it. So definitely it's good to take notes. Okay, so terrain 2, let's give it a texture first. Alright, say we want to have grass on it, or flowers maybe. Let's see what we can do. We can look over the materials available. Now if I don't see a material that I like, I can make one. But a lot of times I can do with the materials in here and just change the colors or do something to make it look different. Oh, I kind of like that one. Desert stones. And some rubble. That's sharp desert rocks. But I think I'll go with desert stones. could add another material in and mix it if I wanted to. So I could make this a mixed material, and then I've got material 2. So I will load the material, and I'm going to look for plants. So somewhere in here there are plants. Now since this is an old version of Vue, and of course there's water. Now I could mix water in there for an interesting effect, but, or glass, or metal, but I really want some sort of plants. So let's see if we can find some plants with it. Of course, I'll have to go to Vue content, to the Vue 2016 content, and look for plants. And a lot of these are not going to load. So we'll see if we can get anything to load. Let's try this one. Dry weeds. And it did. Okay. So I'm gonna leave it about half and half. And there we have our rocky stuff. Now we're gonna go into the terrain editor and see what we can do. So this is kind of under the camera. So I'm not gonna do a whole lot. I'll just kind of make a little variation in the ground, and I'm going to take some of this height variation down, because really we don't need a whole lot of variation. So now I'm going to look at effects. And I could make a little diffusive. I don't want to do too much to it. And apply the material to the effect. So I think I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Since this is close up, I don't want to do a whole lot to it. So I'm going to have that first. And I'm going to save this material. Okay, so I will put it under personal objects, and this is the Keyshan Train 2. Rather little variation. Materials are rocky, ground, and dry weeds. Mixed about half. And half. Okay. I'll save that. I'll make a new directory. Brains. This might save me a little work sometime. I'm going to make this a different color if I can get it to come up. Anytime today. Well, I'm just not getting much of a preview. And I can't save it either. Well, some days it's just like this. Okay, be that way. Oh, you know what? Discord, I don't know why, but lately Discord has been breaking my stuff. So I'm not going to have it running while I have the live stream. I'll go over there after the live stream and hang out with you guys a little bit. But right now, I'm gonna try to save this object preview, and it's just not doing. Okay, I seem to be stuck. VUE 2016 can be a little finicky. I didn't think it was going to be finicky today, but yeah. And I've got my notes here that I've been accumulating. Let me save this and get out of Scrivener. Save. Exit. Okay. Free up some RAM, although I've got 32 gigs of RAM. I really don't think I need to free up any RAM, but you never know. Is Dev Studio up? It shouldn't be. I thought I closed it, but it appears to be. I've got Google on. Turn that off and see if that helps things. Okay, so I have not really got a whole lot on. That needs not to be running. Okay. I don't think I need that right now. Okay, let's see if that helps things. It may be too late. It's too late. Okay. window. Hello. Right. This is bad. Okay. Well. Hello, Task Manager. Let's see what we can do. I only have 3 things running. Only 3 things running. Okay, I'll wait another minute. If it is not working, then I'm going to have to kill VUE. I really don't want to kill VUE, but I'm not really sure if my notepad file is part of the culprit. Let me close that down. Now I only have 2 things running, VUE and Twitch. So let me see. Hey Maggie, could you spot check me and make sure that I am putting something out over the airwaves? I don't know if she can hear me over our heat monster. Oh, thank you. The heat monster is loud. I have never heard a heating system that's this loud before, and it's right outside my bedroom. Oh, that's better. Now I have a chance of hearing if the CPU or GPU is running. It's all quiet. So my PC is not laboring. It's not making odd noises. The hard drives are quiet. They're blinking, but that's normal. So why can't I get this window to close? It's just not going away. Well, and I can't save my file. It's just totally non-responsive. Okay, I dread to do it, but I'm going to close down my scene, and if I lose it, I can recreate it. So, let's see. I'll just go ahead. Hello, Task Manager. All right. Okay. Oh. My camera is stuck. Oh no, I think I'm going to have to restart Twitch as well. Oh, Twitch is okay. All right. Let's restart VUE. And it should offer to recover my file. In fact, it was offering to recover my file that I didn't need recovered. Okay. Do you want to enable compatibility mode? No. Would you like to load the most recent autosave? Yes. And I'm going to name this Keishan 2. Oh, this print is so tiny. I really need to work on this. I can't tell where the dot is in the file name. Oh. Let me do this. Okay. After the autosave, Vue crashed. Probably because I had too many apps open. So I'm taking the blame for it. Okay. All right. It's there. It's all there. Yay! I'm happy. Okay. Now, I have edited my number 2 terrain. Let me see if my save went through because I'm not sure that it did. Okay. Save object. And it's totally not there. Totally not there. You dirty dog, you didn't save my terrain? Alright, this is Keishan terrain 2. That's probably why the atmosphere didn't get saved either, so. Alright, so this is Keishan terrain 2. And what did I use? Oh, rocky terrain. Mixed dry weeds. This terrain is under the camera, but on top of the grassy ground. Okay. And I will go to my little file. Okay, good. Okay. I'll make sure all of this is here. Good. Because I'm adding to this in layers as I resave it. So, now let's see if I can do what I was going to do. I was going to change the color of the preview picture, but it's not letting me do that. So, I guess I'll leave it blue. Well, I'm trying. It's not doing anything. I don't hear the GPU going. So I think it's not doing anything. Oh, bother, bother, bother. It's stuck again. Save that. It shouldn't take that long to save an itty bitty text file. It should not take that long. So I don't know what's going on with it, but Twitch is not frozen. I'm still here. Hi. So Vue is stuck. I don't know what to tell you folks. Maybe Vue does not work on the live stream. That may be a possibility. I usually can't run anything heavy duty when I'm running Vue, and I think that's what's going on. But it saved everything, so I think I'm okay. But I don't think we're going to be able to do much in Vue tonight. Goodness gracious. Okay, well, we did get an atmosphere. Okay, let's shift gears. All right. It's totally frozen. I can't click on anything. All right. Task manager, I need you. La 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 la. Kill the view. Okay. So, let's shift gears because Vue is not behaving. Please don't judge Vue 2022 by tonight's experience. I have very good experiences with Vue most of the time, but if I try to run anything heavy duty along with it, I have gotten crashes in the past. Not with this new computer, but there's a first time for everything, and there you go. So, well, if we can't do Vue, let's go to WorldAnvil and do some stuff. Want to do that? All right. I am going to bring up my humongous universe file. It's big. It's very big. I have a whole bunch of stuff in it. Not this file. I am going to open, let's see. Let's see, where have I got it? I thought I made a file for it. Did I not do that? Okay, I need to make one. I do. So I think I will start a new project. So you're going to get a look at my Scrivener. I'm going to look at all. And here is all. I have been collecting all these various and sundry. Now this is what comes with Scrivener, but I have other templates. Import templates. And I'm going to go to Scrivener templates. And I've got all sorts of stuff. So But the one that I was hoping was there is not there. Well, let's import those. Good. The story grid, which is neat, but the one I want is not here. So let me take a look in the folder and figure out why. Did I not unzip files? That might be possible. Alright, that's not the file. That's not it. Alright. Stories, Scrivener, templates. And let's see. Oh, I have not opened these archives. And what I want is this one. So I am going to take this out of the archive. Now, usually a dialog comes up when you double click on a zip, but I just opened it up and put that out there. So now we have that one, and let's see if there's any others. The KM Wyland one is very good. I'm gonna bring that out to templates. Now wait a minute, the Snowflake one, where did I put it? I should have put it there. Okay. And we will see if it is there in templates. Yes, it is there. So I'm going to look in all of these. Holy cow, there's a lot of them. That's okay. That doesn't have a... Whoa. Okay. This one I'm going to have to extract so I get a folder. Yeah. Extract. Right. Really? Yeah, I just took that out of there. Okay. Now, in case you're wondering how to use Scrivener templates, this is what I'm doing. I am going into my directory that I downloaded them all to, and I'm opening the zips, because as long as they're zipped, they don't show up, as you just saw when I tried to open Scrivener and import the templates. It won't import them if they're still in the zip file, so you have to open the zips. So that's what I'm doing. I'm looking down here, and here's Jamie Gold's template, and I can just put that there and go back up. What did I do? And the KM Wyland one I got. The multi-blog template, I will put that there. If it's just one file, you can drag it out. If it's a folder with files, you need a folder with those files so that they don't get mixed up with all the other templates you've got in there. So, because a Scrivener folder has a bunch of files in it, so you want to make sure that any files that are part of that template get kept in its own self-contained folder so things don't get mixed up. It is much better to keep them separate, and that's a whole folder, so I can drag that to templates. And the picture book template, and that is the PC version. I don't want the Mac version because I don't have a Mac. I don't know. There's a US and a UK version. So that's what the difference is. Alright. So I'm going to replace it because I'm not British. So I don't know what the difference is. 7-point story structure. This is one I was very much looking forward to using. I wonder if that is the same structure that Aldous Budrys was going over in his book, The 7-Point Story Structure. We'll find out. Snowflake Method. This is another Snowflake template. And that's what I'm going to be looking at today. But, and the tutorials are there. And my Unified 13 universe, there it is. Okay, stories of mine that are backups. My backups are in the template folder, which is really not a good place for them. And, okay. And my icon files that I got off the internet. There are public domain icons, and I really very much like to customize my Scrivener with cute little icons. So, okay, good. Now, the scalpel manual needs to be in templates. Okay, good. And now I've unzipped every single thing in that folder, and it didn't take very long. Now I can look. Okay, everything is unpacked. Now I can close my Scrivener, reopen it, and it will give me the opportunity, it should, if I go new project, yeah, and now I can go in options and import templates, and I'm going to go to the Scrivener templates folder and just select all of them. Yes, I don't care if it overwrites them. Go ahead. Go ahead. All right. And now I have all the templates to choose from. There we go. Right there. So I'm going to open up the Snowflake Method and create a new folder. And this is going to be in Scrivener. And I'm going to call this project Keeping Up with an L-Star, which is my new story that I haven't even written yet. And it came up. So I'm going to overwrite this. Do I want to do that? I don't want to override it. I will put a 2 on it. Because I have some stuff saved in there that I want to put someplace else. And I'm going to get rid of, I hate Courier and You with a passion. I used to have a Brother portable typewriter. The thing weighed at least 15 pounds. It was huge. It wasn't very portable. And I hated it. It was like key punch. I would type and it'd be like point, 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 point. You know, it was loud. And I had to write term papers on that thing. And by the time I got to the bottom of the page and I had made 3 errors, I couldn't make another error and use whiteout because my professors did not want heavily whiteouted papers. I have always had arthritis in my hands. Typing is not my forte. I struggled to get to 35 words a minute so I could pass my typing class in 9th grade with Mr. Elrod. So, and I had an old 1930s Underwood typewriter. I loved that thing. It was cool. It wasn't like my Brother typewriter, but suffice it to say, I don't like being reminded of that Brother typewriter. I had so many finger aches from trying to type a 5-page paper without making more than 3 mistakes on it, and invariably I would get to the bottom of the page and make another mistake before I finished that sentence. And I would have to rip out that paper and start all over again. It took me so long to get 1 5-page paper for college. It was a nightmare. So I don't like Courier and You. I like Georgia font. Georgia font originated at Georgia Tech, where I used to work in the library. So I have good memories of working at Georgia Tech, and I love Georgia font. If I can hit it. There we go. And I'm going to make it 12. All right. Now, very good, very good. And alrighty, Belinda Crawford made this template. Thank you, Belinda Crawford. I love you. This is wonderful. So, it's got a template to-do list, and I'm going to make that Georgia. So I am making this mine. I'm going in and making it look like I want it to look. So anyway, and I'm going to make that Georgia. And research, characters. Let's see what her character profile looks like. Oh, cool. This is neat. Okay. Cool. It's got a lot of neat stuff in here. Loosely based on what you will write from the Snowflake steps. a one-sentence summary, motivation, goal, conflict, epiphany. Ooh, this is wonderful. I like this very much. Okay, so, and then the synopsis, which will come from all that, and groups and factions, nations. Oh, I love this. This is cool. Ah, okay. I'm gonna make this Georgia. Georgia. And major events, locations, and planet. Oh, she's got one for planet. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. So, here's location. And I'm going to make this Georgia. Hello. Why can't I make this Georgia? That wasn't supposed to happen. All right, let's go back. Okay, nation, major events, location. All right. We're going to make this Georgia. Yeah. All right. We're going to make a planet. Why did it do that? That is so weird. All right. I guess I hit the wrong thing. I hope I didn't mess up something. My hands don't work. I'm used to this. They don't work. It's okay. All right. This is so cool. I'm gonna love this. This is great. Okay. So, I'm going to save this. And so when I get to going on my nice juicy story, I've got everything all laid out according to the Snowflake Method. This is good. So I'm gonna go back over here. I'm going to copy, I'm going to copy this. Oh, it's all in that. It's not in the other one. It's all right. Okay, now hopefully when I open it's not there. It's not there. But it is in here. I just gotta find it. What was it? Okay. Good. I'm gonna add these notes in here. Go to scene and see if I can add this in. That didn't work. Maybe I can just pull it over. Got this in here, so my capture to Scrivener. Alright. Okay, now we've got it. I need to remember to change the focus so that you can see what I'm doing. So, alright, that's embarrassing. I thought I was capturing all of that. Basically, I am working with two documents here. And I'm going to drag this over. So here's my scene folder, and I'm going to drag the notes into it. Is it gonna do it? Yeah, alright. Now I've got notes, and I found this wonderful writer website. I am constantly finding new stuff on HiveMind, so I need to make a note of that and put it down in the notes on this stream. So basically I went over there and I snarfed up facial descriptions, character goals, plots for young adults, describing pain, describing fear, and science fiction plots. Now, I'm not going to, these are writing prompts, so it's okay to use them because they're very general and you just go on to expand them, or the descriptive terms are just a starting point. If you're stuck and you want to describe an emotion that your character is feeling, then these lists are very handy. So I'm adding that to my Now What revision workbook, which is where I'm accumulating all my neat writer ideas I come across. So definitely this is, and there I go, I need to stop that. Not good DJ practice. I was a DJ when I was 16. I know better. But, stop it. Stop it. Okay. Being able to come up with the right descriptive phrase for what your character is feeling or doing, or, this is part of the heart of writing good description. And you come across it every time you read a novel. You are going to come across a phrase that describes just to a T what this character seems to be feeling, if it's a good book or if it's a good scene. And if you've got the right word at the right time, it can really help your scene along. Sometimes you just get stuck, and it's very nice to have something to look at. So, anyway, we have a little time left. I wanted to introduce you to WorldAnvil. So now that I've got that in there, I'm going to save it, and I'm going to close the other one. Boink. Now, and I've got my color code for editing here. I wanted to show you this. These icons I got from the, I made a note of it. Where is it? Yeah. Well, I got the Koch Snowflake stuff from Wikipedia, which the Snowflake guy mentions. I have trouble remembering names. Forgive me, Snowflake guy. But the Snowflake method is a method of either plotting your book or going back after the fact and revising your book. It's a wonderful tool. You start off with one sentence. You start out small, expand that one sentence to 4 or 5, then you expand each of those to a page, and you go from the triangle to the Star of David to a rough snowflake, and then you get to the final snowflake, which is very complicated. And you started from one sentence. So that's the beauty of it. It's a way of building up your book from scratch. Or if you're a pantser like me and you don't plan, you just jump right in and start writing scene after scene after scene, and maybe it's a little disjointed, you can go back with the Snowflake method and you can boil down the idea of your book to one sentence. Then you can look and figure out piece by piece, okay, is my plot good? Are there plot holes? Or are there gaps or things I need to fill in? Is the pace not quick enough? Is the pace too quick? So you've got to look and figure out, okay, I've got this thing written, and I'm at that point right now with my nano book, Not Just Any Orphan. And I've been going through the steps of the Snowflake method on another book that is already published, 80 a Scientist. So I've gotten to the point on that one. I'm on step 3, which is writing one-page summaries of your characters. So I've got all of my major characters done, and now I need to move on to step 4. I think there may be one more character or 2 more characters that I need to do, and I got distracted, as I often do, going into Dad's studio and making models of all these characters, because it really helps me to describe them better when I go back to editing. So there's that. But this file is my color coding for editing. So, and these little icons, all right, I was looking to see where I got the icons. Oh, I don't have that there. I need to add it to this little document. All right, where did I get the icons from? They're in here. They're probably in my research. Okay. I can almost remember the name of the website that I got them from. Basically, the icons are in the Unicode catalog, but they are not described. I mean, they're not drawn in the Unicode catalog. There are symbols for all these things. So if you go on Facebook or Twitter or any social media, they've got their own set of these that they drew, but you can't use them. If you want something public domain, you have to go to a place where they have put these in the public domain, and these particular icons are public domain and okay to use. I just need to remember where I got them from. So pink is for character in my color system. Purple is for plot. I have all these actions that are going on. Dark blue are for locations. I think of galaxies when I think of locations. Light blue are languages and culture. So I've got all sorts of country flags and a Russian doll and an Australian flag and, different areas, Brazil, Paris, and Russia. So I've got different, that's not Russia, but I tried to get a variety in. Then green for relationships and yellow for edits, because I think of yellow sticky notes when I think of editing. Orange for emotion. Red for delete this, big red X. And red violet in my book is travel, because red violet is my main character's family color once my main character marries into the family in my first novel. So I think of red violet when I think about going someplace, like to another planet, in my head, in my imagination. So that's my color code, and I may add to it, but for now that's what I'm going to be using, and that's new to me. But anyway, I was going to do editing sprints this month, and life got in the way. I didn't get finished. I was going to write out steps for the entire Snowflake Method. I got 3 steps out of 10. So I'm embarrassed. I didn't get it done, but I don't have anybody much on my Discord site anyway. But if you're interested in doing editing sprints, I am hopefully going to get my act together and do some videos that are editing sprints. Editing sprints are like writing sprints, and if you don't know what a writing sprint is, I didn't either until I did NaNoWriMo this year. And for those of you who don't know what NaNoWriMo is, it is short for National Novel Writing Month, which happens every November. And if you're saying, well, I wish I had done that, what National Novel Writing Month is all about, you take a month and you write for however long a day it takes you to write 1,660 something words. And if you write that much every day of the month, you will end up with a 50,000 word novel at the end. Yay! So, even if you attempt it and don't get 50,000 words, it's no reason to blame yourself or say, oh God, I'm just not a good writer. No. It just means that you didn't get organized enough. And I think that it is the plague of the writer, of the author, that it is hard to organize your thoughts. You just want to write this thing in your head that you want to get down where it's in a readable form, and you're just anxious to see how it's going to turn out. So you may be organized, you may do an outline first, you may plot it out first, or you might be like me. I'm very disorganized, and I just sit down and write, and it just flows. But a lot of people get stuck. And there's nothing wrong with you if you're one of those people that start to write and it's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to put? What am I going to have happen next? I can't think. It happens to everybody. But especially when you've got a deadline, you know. So if you have attempted a nano in the past and you haven't succeeded, don't think that there's something wrong with you. That, you know, about half of everybody that enters NaNoWriMo finishes the 50,000 words. And if you're one of those who maybe the blank page got to you and you thought, well, I was going to write this great novel and I've got blank, you know, don't feel bad. A lot of people write in their head like a movie, and then when they get it right in their head, then they try to write it down. And others will just start writing, and maybe every word is a struggle. You know, some people have big time problems just trying to figure out, how do I describe this character? What do I do about plot? You know, story has a beginning, it has a middle, and it has an end. And there are a lot of different ways to approach plotting any length of story. And at one extreme, you have flash fiction, which may be a sentence or two. And at the other extreme, you've got super novels, where you've got 500 pages or more, and my whole Adia series was that. Not many people like to read a super novel, so definitely it's better to keep the word count from getting out of hand. But I do write science fiction, and a good length for a science fiction novel is about 90,000 words. For other genres, it may be less, it may be more. Romance novels can be anywhere from 50,000 to 110, 120,000, depending on the way the story goes. So you don't want to get so hung up on your story length that it paralyzes you. You want to think about, okay, I'm not going to worry about what the word count is right now. I'm just going to sit down and think about some characters. I'm going to think about what situation I could put them in that is a difficult situation, a challenging situation. And they're somehow going to try and fail 3 times, and then finally they're going to get it. And then there will come the ending where, you know, whatever happens and the aftermath of what they've been through and all that. So, a story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And however you structure that beginning, middle, and end is not something to stress yourself out about. Basically, storytelling should be enjoyable. It should be fun. And if your inner editor is telling you, oh, this is no good, this is trash, what are you writing this for? Let me tell you something. As an experienced writer, I've been writing stories since I was 8 years old. Not all of them were any good, but all of them were valid because the more you write, the better you get at it. So you have to write a ton of garbage to get to the good stuff, to learn how to put your words together. You know, you may be an expert in grammar. You may have made straight A's through English class all the way through school. But putting words together and having something interesting happen to your character, and having them get into a situation that it looks like absolutely there's no way out, but you've got to find your way out of that box you put yourself into. It takes experience to be able to write. I was not able to write anything that I felt good about until after age 30. And my sister, who's very successful, has said that you have to be 30 pretty much to have enough experience to be able to write. I disagree. There was a young man who was 17 who wrote Aragon. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that book. It's a fantasy novel about a boy and his dragon. And it's wonderful. You know, this young man really wrote a riveting novel. I could not put it down. There aren't a lot of books that attract me so much that I can't put it down without finishing it. But all 3 books in the Aragon series were that good to me. So I don't think you have to be 30 to write. I think that experience helps. But another little piece of advice that I give people is don't write about you. You know, if you're writing a journal, that's different. If you're writing a novel or a short story or a story about a set of characters, that character that's your protagonist does not need to be you. It needs to be somebody you don't know and you're getting to know them in writing this book. Or if you're writing about a character and you go off and do a series like I did, you still want to start with a character that is not you. And it is not, the people around them are not people you know. You can take traits from people you know and put them together, but writing a story about people you know that is fiction can be a double-edged sword. You can put people in your books as a compliment, and they may not see it as a compliment. Especially if you have them being human. You know, a lot of people don't take kindly to being included in creative works. So my advice to you is come up with a character that is original, that's not a real person. They can have facets of real people, and you can write about events that happen to you or someone else, but don't make them recognizable. You don't want to be sued by a relative because you paint them in an unflattering light, according to them. It is much better to write about your own characters, and that way you have more creative control. You don't have to worry about relatives getting mad at you, and you can express yourself. And, you know, your writing is an extension of you, but it's not you, and it doesn't need to be you. It's different if you're not planning to publish this. If you're just writing it for you, and you just want to have some interesting things happen to you, that's up to you. But in my life, it has not been healthy for me to write that way. So I'll just leave you with that. I'm not going to say that that's, you know, the do-all and be-all for everybody, but my advice is don't write about you unless you're writing in your journal. So, yeah. And so you've got this idea and you want to put it down on paper and you're not exactly sure how to go about that, I will be exploring this in future episodes of this live stream. So tune in again and I will go into some more stuff that I've learned over the years writing, and I will touch on a lot of different subjects. I'm sorry that VUE didn't work out tonight, but I'll just concentrate on the other tools that I use. In the meantime, and I will look up where these icons came from and give you a link. I'm going to wish you a good night. This is Dennis Cole wishing you a pleasant evening, and I hope you have something good to read or to watch or something pleasant to do, or maybe you're planning to go to bed. Have good sleep. Sleep is important. Y'all take care, and I'll see you next time. Till then, this is DanniStories signing off and wishing you well. And we will explore more writing and creative talents, and we didn't get to WorldAnvil, but we will do that maybe Wednesday. So until then, have a good night, and y'all take care. I'm gonna put this down and end my stream now. Good night.